Hi, this is Jimmy D, and it's December 5th, 2021, and this is my long coffee trip. Well, it's been an interesting morning. Went from my place in Carborough all the way to Wake Forest, and then Route 1A over to Raleigh, which is the capital of our state. And that was just really rewarding. I'm in downtown Raleigh now, and I plan to ride back. So what I was thinking is, I had somebody ask me, well, what are really these long coffee trips about? And it's funny. It started at or at least the idea started over at a Starbucks, not too far from here. It was one that reminded me of one that I saw in San Francisco, and that's really where it started. Because, a few months before, I think it was March, I was spending some time in Dublin. Got off the plane, and a lot of us got off the plane, and bang! I mean, we were in pandemic mode. I was reading about it in Dublin, and I was going, this doesn't sound very good. So we had a complete lockdown, and initially that wasn't so much of an issue for me. Being, I'm a rover, right? I like going around, I like doing things, but it got on me. So I was at the Starbucks, and I sat there and said, I'm going to just, every Sunday, I'm going to go out, and I'm going to do these long coffee trips, and it's going to get me out, it's going to get me seeing people. And I would bring my notebook, and I would listen to podcasts, and I'd prepare for the week, and it was really, really, really productive, right? It was really good. From there, I started posting a lot about it because, one of my passions, one of my hobbies is, of course, social media and things like that. But the pandemic, like with everybody, right? It started getting to me, right? I hadn't been traveling. I hadn't been doing my talks at work. I hadn't been doing educational series. Really, things had slowed down on that side. I mean, there was a lot of work still to be done, and it was, for a pandemic year and a half, it was okay, right? But I wasn't getting out there, and I wasn't doing my talks, and I wasn't interacting with customers in the same way, or people, right? So I started doing these long coffee trips, and you'll see a tagline in my description, right? And it's called Kenai, right? And this goes way back to when I was probably around 19 years old, and I got my first Tony Robbins set of tapes, and I really, really, really loved it. Matter of fact, in 2018, I saw or attended a Tony Robbins seminar in London, which was awesome, eye-opening. But one of the things that I learned from that was Kenai, K-A-N-I, constant and never-ending improvement. And that's really what I started doing with these sessions, right? So again, I listen to podcasts, introduce myself to new concepts and ideas, whether it's within my industry or it's outside my industry. I start writing and jotting and journaling and doing all these interesting things. And now again, I've excuse me, I've moved from just posting on personal level, social media, to here on LinkedIn and sharing, because it's all about constant, never-ending improving. And that was my theme for today, right? What are you doing? What am I doing to constantly improve? And more importantly, what am I doing to be ready, right? Because this pandemic isn't going to last forever. Things are changing every day. What am I going to do? Where am I going to be when the roll's called, right? When I'm, when they're ready to send me out, when I'm ready to start doing my talks, my lectures, my introductions, everything, am I going to be ready? Or I'm going to be the person that was sitting there behind the webcast, or am I going to be the person that was sitting on that web demo? And when I get out back in the real world, am I going to be a different person? Well, my answer to that is no, right? You guys figured that out. My answer is negative on that one. We're going to be ready to go, and I'm going to bring the same excitement that I love doing. So that was, that is today's long coffee trip. I've got a pretty heavy week going. Have some travel that I'll be doing for work, but I'll be back around Tuesday. So it's starting to change, and it's starting to get better. Some other interesting things. I was working with a company in Europe, and it reminded me of the changes that we've been having, whether it's laws and those things that are going on as far as compliance and interesting things that are related to that. And so I'm going to be writing a pretty good sized blog about why it's important to start looking at your monitoring tools, your networking tools, your NDR solutions, and making sure that their vision, their foundation of the data that they're obtaining really sets tight with the ever-changing laws that are going on day to day. I'm trying to make it not so much vendor specific, just an insight to start thinking about what I've learned over the past years. I've been lucky, as I was telling my manager the other day, I've been extremely lucky being part of the international channel for so long. Matter of fact, you could go back to my profile and learn about my time there. But being part of the international channel for such a long time, I learned about the different laws and the concepts between the EU and how they want to protect data and things like that. And being privileged enough to go through all that, I understand that a company really needs to start focusing on those things with their solution. And in the idea is, what is the foundation and how is it going to help me in the future? Is this something that I can look at now and in the future? What if something changes? Is it going to be able to adapt to that relatively quick? So that's something interesting that I'm going to start exploring. Other than that, that is today's long coffee trip. I'm actually going to go back Route 1A. For me, that's kind of important because back up in New England where I grew up, Route 1 was a big thing. So I'm going to go back Route 1A on the way home, and then finish today's notes and probably edit this video and pop it up there. So you guys have a great weekend. More importantly, have a great week. That's what these Sundays are about for me. I know some parts of the world that I talk to, their weeks don't end or start on a Sunday or whatever. But the idea is you got to have one time during your week where you just kind of start and get prepared for things. So here again, it's Jimmy D. This is my long coffee trip on December 5th, 2021. Have an awesome week and make sure that you do your best. All right, bye guys.